Welcome to ECED 7260, Science, Methods, and Materials. My name is Dr. Britton, and I am your professor for the course. When you first get here, this is what you're going to see as your main page. And what I'd like for you to do, there's this click Start Here, takes you to the course. What it actually does is it takes you here to Content. And we're just going to walk through the course a little bit. The table of contents has pretty much everything that's going to happen this semester for the class. And you're going to start here, getting to know the course. And pretty much everything you need, questions you may have, things of that nature, you'll be able to find the answers to here. And if you can't, there's a discussion board that it links you to ask questions. For every single one of these learning activities or modules, some people call them, you're going to have a checklist, okay? Before you can move on to your next activity, you have to complete the checklist. I also have them set so they don't open, they're not all open at the same time. There is a schedule for when they open. Typically, they open on a Sunday morning, especially for spring and fall courses, because you're like learning activity 1 maybe due this Sunday night. Learning activity 2 would start this Sunday morning. So you have like a day or two overlap. So as we walk through this, here's your video of kind of my welcoming you and showing you around the class. And then we move into the syllabus information. And I try to give you some info on what's included in each of these little sections. But for this, you have a schedule of events, and this is the exact same information as you see on how you will be graded. But if we click on the schedule of events, it's going to open up a Google Doc. And before you send me an email, make sure that right up here it says your WESCA account. If it doesn't, you won't be able to see any of the files that are in the class. I choose to use the Google files because it allows quicker updates, and you guys don't have to be penalized when something doesn't open for you or won't upload or things like that. Okay, so if you're looking at this, these are our course objectives, 7 course objectives. And you have the learning activity, you have the topic that's going to be covered, the learning outcomes, so what are the main objectives that I want you to do for this activity, then the assignments that you're going to turn in, the course objectives from here that you're meeting, and then the date that it's due. Any assignment is going to be due at 11:59 on the date that's listed here. I don't start grading anything in this until that deadline. So you have an opportunity to take a little bit of time. You may have 12 hours after that deadline to get something turned in before it gets counted as late, but try to have them in by the deadline. If you notice on here, I have a point value right there, 55 points. So this shows you video introduction. You're posting a video that's worth 5 points. This is 5 points. The quiz is 8 points. A photo journal is 35. And then there's a plagiarism quiz. That's 2 points. For every single learning activity, you're going to have a point value. As you move further down in the semester, you'll see that some of those point values get a lot higher. The reason I'm mentioning all of that is, let's go back to how you're going to be graded. Because I know a lot of people are in grad school, you have a life, you have things that you've got to do, and sometimes we don't have all the time we want to get an assignment done. I'm showing you this so that you realize for this class, it's not based on percentages. It's based on points. So if you don't do the plagiarism quiz, that's 2 points out of 784. You have another 82 points that you can lose before you still don't have an A anymore. So in order to get an A in the class, you need to have at least 703 points. So before you panic about getting a 70 on something that may have been worth 4 points, ask yourself, what is this really worth? Is it really going to hurt my grade? I say all of this because maybe in Learning Activity 5 you've got some crazy things going on at school and you're not able to get every single one of these done. That's okay. That's on you. I'm not going to fuss at you for not getting something finished. You know how many points you've got to have. You know the grade that you want to get. There's a little bit more information down here. There are some things that every student has to complete. There's a semester-long project, and there's an e-learning module. There's information on both of those that you're going to see later on, but everyone has to complete those 2 activities. Beyond that, it's up to you what you do and what you don't do. So you kind of decide what grade you want and work towards that grade. Okay, so back to the table of contents. I went to Content and clicked on Table of Contents. If you're continuing to look at Getting to Know the Course, which I really want you to take some time to go through that, you'll see basically everything that is covered here. There's an introduction, gives you some background information about me, the course syllabus, content, and contact information. What I'd like for you to, once you've gone through all that, if you still have questions, and that's fine. This is me and my cousin. But if you have questions, this is where you can go. And the wonderful thing about this little tab, you're going to have this in every single learning activity. If you have a question about something that's going on in the class, you can post your question right here in the discussion forum, and either I will answer it, or if you know the answer to a question someone else has, you can answer the question for them. I try to check in with this in the beginning of the course at least once a day, sometimes more often than that, but be patient. You can send me an email through my Wesca account. I tend to be able to check those more frequently than I do CourseDen, but I do try to check in on this discussion board. So, good luck with the class, and I will give you some more information in your next module screencast.